Hi there, my mermaid beauties. It's T here, and today I have a tutorial for this eye look. And it's using the Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. It's pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the smell alone is intoxicating, so it's pretty amazing. I use a lot of Too Faced products today, so if you like Too Faced, come on in. Elle and I got a couple of new pieces of equipment, so I decided to try it out today. Unfortunately, the windows and sun weren't exactly cooperating and coming in and out, and the lighting is still a little bit weird, but we know you love us. And we know you're in it for the long haul, so just bear with us. We're still learning, and we love you guys, and we know that you love us, and it's a learning process. It's a journey, but I promise we're gonna get better, and our videos are gonna get better the more we do them, and the more we practice, and I really do. I promise it's gonna get better. So, I guess if you want to get this look, stay tuned. So, as you can see, I have my face makeup, most of it done, up to the bronzer and brows. I am going to start with my eyeshadow. So that was my most requested tutorial from my mermaids. So here goes. Today I'm going to be using the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette from Too Faced. I can't wait. So let's get started. Okay, this is what the palette looks like. I mean, how cute is that? And it smells like chocolatey, peanut buttery, vanilla-y goodness. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It just smells delicious. So we'll just get started now. So even though I have my face makeup going already, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little translucent powder underneath my eye so that if there's any fallout, I can just sweep it away. Okay, it's a Sephora Pro Airbrush Concealer. So we'll be using that, and I'm just gonna pack it on underneath my eye, like so. And it's gonna look goofy for a while, but this really helps for if you have any fallout and you already have your face makeup on, which I know a lot of people do their eye makeup first, but for the sake of this tutorial, I just didn't want you guys to have an hour-long video. So I decided to do my face makeup first. So let's get going. The first thing I'm gonna do is prime. It's very important to prime. Whether you have dry eyelids or oily eyelids, you should still prime no matter what. Especially as I've gotten older, my eyelids have started to hood more. And so, come on, really? So, no, I'm gonna crease no matter what, even though I have dry eyelids. So, it's just important to get that smooth, cohesive look, and for blending and for staying power, you need to just make sure you prime. So what I'm gonna be using today is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the anti-aging formula. This is what it looks like. And I usually go all the way from lid to brow. This also helps to cover up any discoloration you might have on your lid. Like I have a lot of veining because I am so fair. If you're not quite as fair as I am, then you might not have that problem. All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna take the color, let's see, I think we're gonna take the color Spread the Love, this one right here, because it's like skin colored and it's gonna set the primer and it's going to give you a nice blank canvas for your shadow. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. Obviously it's a concealer brush, but there are no rules in makeup. No, there aren't. You can use these brushes however you choose. What I like it for is it's big and it's fluffy and it isn't going to set down too much product, and it's just going to set just the right amount of product down, especially for that blank canvas. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of the eyeshadow. I'm going to tap my brush and I'm going to start setting the product down. And this is what it looks like. So it just gives you that blank canvas. Next, we're going to be dipping into what's called the transition shade. And this shade is going to basically help you blend all the other shades together. So typically you want this to be a generally neutral shade, and you're going to set it just above the crease. If you are a little bit hooded like me, you can kind of feel your eyebrow and your eyebrow bone and set it just underneath and kind of fake your crease, so to speak. So what you're going to do is you're going to look for a more fluffy brush to do this. I'm going to be using the Sephora Crease Shadow Brush number 73. This is what it looks like. Okay, so I'm going to be going into the shade Peanut Butter. This is what it looks like. Okay. I'm going to dip in, pat my brush, and I'm going to start on the end here, because typically the darkest shades are going to go in the outer corner unless you're doing a halo, but we're not doing that today. We're going to more simple. So the darkest shades typically go in the outer corner, so you're going to start on this side with your brush, and you're just going to kind of go a little more ham with this one, and you're just going to set it down. No specific, you don't have to be careful with this one. You're just going to like get it going and set it down. You're probably going to have to go in more than once with this to get it set down the way you want it and to get it looking the way you should. So what I typically do is I'm going to set it down here, go back and forth with windshield wiper motion, okay? Then to really get it smooth, once I go back, I'm going to start here once all the product is mostly gone off of the brush, and then I'm going to go in with the swirlies. This is very like, can you tell, professional wording, swirlies. Then I'm going to go with the swirling motion. Okay. Okay, do you see how it sort of, it doesn't have any harsh lines and it's very blended, but I have a gradient kind of, you know, very, very light to it starts to get darker. That's what you want. You want to make a gradient. Next, I'm going to be using a MAC 217 brush. This is what it looks like. I've had this brush for years and years. Nuts About You. It's this orangey shade right here on the bottom. Now with this one, I'm going to be a little more careful. I'm going to try to stay a little bit more in the crease. So that's how much I picked up, not a ton. Tap the brush, and I'm gonna hold it more further towards the end and hold the brush kind of at an angle a little bit, and I'm gonna go in and kind of fit the brush into my crease, okay? Do you see how it's fitting in the crease? Okay, I'm gonna go in like that. Now, we're gonna go back to that first brush we used, okay? And without any product on it, we're not gonna add any product to it. We're gonna buff out the Nuts About You color, the orange, darker orange, okay? That's what we're gonna be doing. Okay, can you see the difference now of how it looks? Because I blended the edges, okay, with that first brush. I didn't add any additional color, remember. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add the lid color. I think I'm gonna go with this Happening Jelly color right here. Let me get a different brush. Let's switch. We're gonna go with the Wet n Wild. It's the little bit bigger shader brush. Okay, so I'm dipping back in. Here we go. Okay, so we have that. Now what we're gonna do, because do you see how the orange is a little bit, okay, there's a rough edge of the purple, first of all, and how it covered up some of the Nuts About You orange, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the MAC 217 that we were using, and we're going to go just a tiny bit, dip into the Nuts About You, okay? And we're gonna start blending out the edge of the purple. Now I'm gonna go back into peanut butter, just a tiny bit, and blend out the edge of the Nuts About You. Are you guys starting to get the theme? Blend, 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 blend. And you're just building color, and you're building the gradient from lightest to darkest. And, you know, that's how you get the best look, the most cohesive look. Okay, so now I need a color in the corner, okay, in the outer V to give me a more dimension. So I'm gonna use this Jammin', this darker purple right here, okay? This one is from Sonia Kashuk. It doesn't have a number. I got this in a set. I'm sorry. I know, it's terrible. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the Jammin'. Start out light and you're gonna build. Okay, so okay. This is a Mally Beauty brush. I think I got it in BoxyCharm, maybe? One of the beauty boxes. I'm sorry, I don't remember. But yeah, it's a Mally Beauty brush. I do know that. So it's a clean, fluffy blending brush, and I'm just gonna start blending. I feel like the lid color needs a little more oomph. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do and how to get that. Okay. We're gonna take our flat shader brush, and I have some primer mist from Hard Candy. You can use it as a setter or a primer, either one. But, so I'm gonna load the brush. There we go. Shake this a little. I'm gonna give it a spray after I load the brush. Not before. Don't wet your brush and go into your eyeshadows. That ruins them. So load your brush, then spray. Okay. Wipe my brush off a little so it doesn't get wet on my other parts of my makeup. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about. So, can you guys see the difference? This eye and this eye? With the wet, because I wet the eyeshadow? It's good stuff. Remember this clean blending brush? I'm just gonna take that puppy, go over everything one last time. Okay. Whoa, this is an Eco Tools it just says eyeshadow brush on it. This is what it looks like. And I'm gonna go into Extra Creamy right here and highlight my brow bone. I feel like this just sort of finishes out the look and makes everything look, I don't know, put together. I'm also gonna put a little bit right down here to kind of brighten everything up. I'm gonna do an inner corner highlight as well, but I usually do that the same time as I do my face highlight, which time for eyeliners. You know me, I love eyeliner. Today I'm going to be using the Tarte's double-ended eyeliner. Isn't it pretty? So I'm going to be doing a winged eyeliner. Now I'm going to take this pencil brush and I'm going to dip into Nuts About You. And I'm going to smudge for the top lashes. I'm going to be using the Lights Camera Lashes 4-in-1 mascara from Tarte. I just have a little one. This is the not waterproof one for the top lashes. I want to get a big one for the top. It's a great mascara. I really like it. So for the bottom lashes, I'm going to throw on some waterproof mascara real quick. It's the Tarte Lights Camera Splashes. Y'all see, I make mistakes too. Did y'all see that? I just scrape the mascara on my face. I did it again. Jesus, help me. You know when I do perfect makeup? When I'm not videoing. For sure. All right. So, now that we're completely done with the eyes, what we're going to, well, no, we're not completely done with the eyes. I'm going to throw in some of these Kiss lashes. This one is called Tulip. Get it together. Get your life together, Tiff. Okay, last but not least, we are going to do a little bit of blush and a little bit of highlighter, and then we'll be finished. Okay. With this purpley, I could either do Urban Decay Afterglow 8-Hour Fetish, or Milani Romantic Rose. I'm gonna do Fetish. I haven't worn that in a while. And yes, I know I always wear too much blush. It just happens. Be using the Becca Opal highlighter. I just have a little one, so that's what I'm using. A Eco Tools highlighting fan brush. This is what it looks like. So now we're gonna set with the Urban Decay Chill Setting Spray because I have dry skin. Woo! I'm gonna be using, for lips, I'm gonna be using the Essence lip liner in the nude. I am going to be using the Too Faced Melted Matte Longwear Lipstick in Queen Bee. So this is the look. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to leave the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe because we want to see you and know you. And thanks again for everything you guys do for us. This has been a journey, a learning experience for sure. I never expected this to be easy, but it definitely has been a lot harder than I thought it would be. And I'm so enjoying it, and I'm just along for the ride, and we couldn't do this without you guys. So, you know, please hang in there. I promise things are gonna get better. The quality is gonna get better, and we're gonna keep on learning and striving to do better. So just hit subscribe and give us a chance, and I promise we're gonna keep doing better. All right, talk to you soon. Love you. Bye. Mwah.